Welcome into Falcon Park as the Auburn Doubledays take on the Newark Pilots in a rematch from just last night as the Doubledays look to try and bounce back after a 14-0 loss here at home. I'm Luke Backman with Ryan Story. Ryan, tough night for the Doubledays last night. Talk to me about how they can get the revenge and get back in the win column here.
Well, it comes down to what they can do with the plate. Because in that outing last night, just an embarrassing display by the Doubledays lineup. Only 4 hits throughout the game, and they were frankly outclassed in every aspect of that contest, whether it was fielding, where they had multiple errors, whether it was hitting, where they only had 4 hits, whether it was pitching, where they gave up 17 hits en route to 14 runs. The Doubledays really didn't do anything right. And for a team that they managed to tie with earlier on in the campaign, that was just not the loss that the Doubledays expected heading into that one. And something that if the Doubledays can pick up a win here, they could put that in the rearview mirror as just a fluke.
Definitely. They proved in their first matchup against Newark, hey, they can compete with Newark. Newark, one of the top-tier echelon teams in this league. They can compete. 6-6 tie in their first meeting of the season. I think it's as simple as, hey, we talked about it against when they played Elmira, getting on the board early and playing with a lead. And today, as we're having an 11 o'clock start, Wyatt Ernest will be on the mound for Auburn as he readies for his first pitch to shortstop Cooper Loyal to get this game underway, and the first one is going to be outside for ball number 1. For Wyatt, this is going to be his 3rd appearance this season, as his 1-0 is going to be just high for ball number 2. Pitched back on June 3rd. Only was able to go a third of an inning as the 2-0 is inside for ball number 3. Gave up 5 runs, 3 earned, but had a better outing back on June 6th in that tie game against Newark. Pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned, as the 3-0 is going to be outside, a 4-ball walk to start the game.
Not a great start for Ernst in the top of the first right there.
Not at all. Again, as a pitcher, you want to start working ahead in that count. For Ernst, short-term memory, as Dean Spotto enters the batter's box here, the lefty Ernst is going to look over at Loyal. That curveball is going to be just outside of the zone for ball number 1.
Ernst started off his college career at Cayuga Community College, now at Kuka College, to continue his athletic career.
That pitch is going to be hit out into left field, making the play at the track for the Doubledays. That's going to be out number 1. Colson Thompson out there in left field for you is quickly. That's going to be a big out for Ernst right there. Was struggling finding the strike zone. So again, that first out's going to be huge. Now this is going to bring up Grant Ingram, the 3rd baseman for the Pilots.
Not a great sign that the first pitch that Ernst throws over the middle is drilled into the deep outfield. Obviously it was caught, so there was no damage done, but when we see the Pilots able to get that power early on, not a great sign for Ernst.
First pitch is going to be outside. Second pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate against Grant Ingram, the 3rd baseman. Pitch is going to be drilled. That one's out to left field. Colson's going back to the wall, turning off the top of the wall. Colson Thompson's going to relay it in to hit the shortstop, the cutoff man. Just like that, that's a double for Grant Ingram, advancing the runner to 3rd base, 2nd and 3rd quickly here for the Pilots against the Doubledays.
Just mentioned how the power was a concern for Ernst, and he gives the same exact pitch that has almost the same result, except this time Thompson not able to get under it. Could have been a home run if it was just a few feet further to the right.
You mentioned it perfectly right there, the pitch before. It was the exact same pitch, drilled out there to left field. Now for Ernst, time to lock in here on the mound. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, top of the 1st inning. For him, he's got to limit the damage. That pitch is going to be outside for ball number 1. Jonathan Decker, the DH, is at the plate here for the Pilots.
So far, it seems like Newark's scouting report on Ernst has been good. They've swung at everything over the middle, and all of his fastballs, they've been really just attacking them and then letting the breaking balls go. The better pitches for Ernst, even though they haven't been finding the strike zone yet.
Was able to find the strike zone on that last one, count 1-1. That one just outside for ball number 1. Or ball number 2, excuse me, 2-1 count. Ernst readies and deals the 2-1. Allen's going to be in there on the inside part of the plate for strike number 2. Big call right there.
There's a big at-bat. If Ernst can retire the batter here, that would go a long way to escaping this inning.
It's going to be over the head of the second baseman into right field. 1 run is going to score. They're going to send the second. The throw to the cutoff man at second is going to be stopped there. It's going to be a single driving in 2 runs for Jonathan Decker as Newark quickly is on the board here in the first inning.
Not the start Ernst was looking for at all. You mentioned he did better in his last time around on the mound. Well, this outing is looking a lot more reminiscent of his first time on the mound for the Doubledays this season.
Quickly 2-0. Ernst working quickly himself. That first pitch is going to be a strike on the inside part of the plate to Brady King, the catcher.
Still haven't seen Ernst getting any of the Pilots to swing and miss yet. When they're going strong and getting it in play.
Ernst outside pitch right there. Breaking ball catches the part of the plate for strike number 2. Quickly ahead in the count 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Went back to that same pitch just a little bit outside. Count now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Ernst. It's going to be hit over to second base. Bobbled in the glove of Thompson as he's going to safely go over to first to just make sure they get 1 out. There's going to be a quick play, quick turn over to second if they're going to try and make the double play. Thompson realized, hey, I'll just make the fielder's choice, get the runner at first, have 2 outs in this inning. Two outs here. As Ernst first pitch is going to be inside. Broussard backing him off the plate for ball number 1.
Haven't really seen Ernst go to his faster pitches yet. He's been keeping it low in the 60 to 70 range, mostly throwing breaking balls so far.
Pitch inside yet again. Count now quickly 2-0. Broussard, the left fielder for the Pilots. Newark put up 2 runs in the first inning last night, swing and a miss. Ernst gets Broussard for the first strike in the at-bat. Doubledays trying to just keep it at 2 runs for Newark as that one's popped in the air, but that's going to be behind us and out of play.
Coming down right over the booth back here.
Can only assume, if you can hear, we have a lot of kids today here. They're going running for that foul ball. As the 1-2 pitch is going to be just high. Count now 2-2. Two-two pitch. That's going to be hammered just foul. First base coach tried to make a play with the bare hands. That one was hot. He's shaking his hand himself. That was a rocket off the back of Broussard, but just foul. Full count 3-2. That pitch is going to be hit in the air. It's going to find its way out of the ballpark. Another foul ball. Good battle between Ernst and Broussard right here.
Pilots are certainly attacking anything that Ernst throws over the middle.
Broussard did not play in the game last night, as he's going to drill one just over the first baseman, Albright's head. Ball is going to be into right field. The throw is going to be stopped with the cutoff man, as that's going to be an RBI single. Louis Broussard right there to add to the Newark lead here in the first inning. It's now 3-0 Pilots.
Ernst is a pitcher who he's not going to beat you with his speed on his pitches. The way he's going to beat you is with precision, by placing it in the perfect spot, getting you to swing and miss. And this Newark team has not been fooled by what he's been putting out there at all.
Good battle there with Broussard in the last at-bat. Just was not able to win it. Broussard was able to pull a pitch just over Albright's head at first base. That pitch is going to be on the ground to the third baseman. Safely going to go to second is Bonfiligio to Thompson to get out of this inning. But Newark plates 3 here in the top of the first. Auburn's going to come to the plate trying to make up some ground when we come back. Back here at Falcon Park as Josh Thompson makes his way to the batter's box. As Auburn quickly trails in this game 3-0 before their first batters. They're going to take on Jason Brown. Brown's making his second appearance this season. Excuse me. That first pitch is going to be inside for ball number 1. Brown actually made his first appearance in an exhibition game against the Finger Lake Lakers, going an inning in that game, as that second pitch is going to be low for ball number 2. That game went 1 inning, gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. First game here against Auburn, as that pitch is going to be outside quickly. The count's now 3-0.
Having some deja vu from the first inning.
This is exactly how Ernst started. The 3-0 pitch, that one's going to catch the inside part of the plate for strike number 1, as Thompson was taking the entire time. Brown readies and deals the 3-1. That's in the dirt. Leadoff walk for Josh Thompson.
Doubledays looking to replicate the magic that Newark had in the top of the first inning.
Josh Thompson stands on first base. The center fielder Austin Droge comes to the plate here. Gotta assume Thompson on first with his speed. I don't know if he'll be staying at first too long. First pitch outside for ball number 1.
it just makes sense to test the catcher in King. Brady King, known for his arm, he does have a fantastic arm, can throw out batters or throw out runners at second, but you might as well start to test him early.
Pickoff attempt at first. Gonna be safe. So Thompson looked like he got caught for a split second, was able to recover in time to get back to first, but I think it's safe to say Thompson is getting ready to try and swipe second soon. 1-0 pitch, that's going to be swung on and missed. Big cut right there from Austin Droge. Beautiful day for baseball, sunny day here in Auburn, New York. Kids are at the ballpark, 1-1 on the outside part of the plate for strike number 2. Count now 1-2. Brian, I got to ask, did you ever have a field trip when you were younger in school that was, let me take you to the ballpark for a game?
Yeah, my school wasn't fun enough to bring us to any baseball games. We got to go to Cooperstown, but we went there for a different reason.
That ball's drilled down the left field line. Quickly, Thompson's going to third. He's going to go home. The throw in to home plate is going to be not in time as Josh Thompson comes around to score from first on an Austin Droge double down the left field line. And just like that, Auburn is able to get one back here on the board.
Look at the speed from Thompson there. You can tell that's why he's the leadoff batter. Most coaches put the 2 fastest players on the squad in the 1 and 2 slots, and Thompson has earned his spot there with just some amazing base running, excellent hustle.
Ball hit the cutoff. Man, Cooper Loyal, who's the shortstop for the Pilots. And Josh Thompson was just then rounding third. Third base coach said, I have enough faith in my man, like you mentioned, Josh Thompson, with the speed, that I think he's going to beat this throw, and beat the throw he did. That first pitch into Michael G. Martino is going to be low and get away from the catcher King, so that just advances Austin Droge on a pass ball 90 feet closer.
G. Martino still looking for his first hit as an Auburn Doubleday.
Be a big opportunity with an RBI in play. That's not a base hit, but that's going to be a hit by pitch as G. Martino wears one on the shoulder. He's going to make his way down to first.
The tying run already at first base for the Doubledays, so they've shown some instant fight, not going to let Newark sit with the lead for too long like they did yesterday.
Colson Thompson comes to the plate here, the left fielder. He had some action there in the top half of the first fielding. Comes to the plate with runners on the corners. And the first pitch is going to be in there for strike number 1. Quickly working as Brown. That pitch is going to be low. Count now 1-1. Brown, he just finished up his senior year at Cherokee High School in New Jersey. He's committed to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy to play baseball as the 1-1 is outside for ball number 2.
He's originally out of Holy Springs, North Carolina, so a bit of a trip for him up to Auburn, New York.
Pitch is going to be outside. Count now 3-1. Auburn working some hitters' counts early in this inning. Brown readies the lefty. That's to deal the 3-1. One's going to be hit out in the air to right field. Right fielder's going to make the catch. Droge is tagging. The throw at home is going to be not in time as Austin Droge tags up, and a sacrifice fly for Colson Thompson. Just like that, Auburn's plated another one. 3-2 here in the bottom of the first.
I do want to give some credit to DiGiacomo out there in right field. That may have looked like a routine play, but that was a tough ball to track down in the sun, and he managed to come down with it and still make it a play at the plate, where we've seen Auburn not even making it a tough job getting to home earlier on in this game.
Definitely was another close play at the plate, as now Auburn has cut the deficit to only 1. First pitch is going to be hit in the air down the right field line. DiGiacomo's taking a run for it. That's going to be just foul.
DiGiacomo getting his exercise in early.
DeCerbo gave that pitch a ride about 2-3 feet right the foul line out there in right field. As G. Martino was getting ready, he would have been halfway to third by the time that ball was going to be in the hands of DiGiacomo, potentially ready to score. But either way, count now 0-1 to DeCerbo. It's going to be
hit by pitch there.
Another hit by pitch. Second one of the inning. First one was G. Martino, who's now going to advance to second on that hit by pitch.
Just avoidable mistakes being made by pitcher Jason Brown.
Brown struggling as the count now, a new count, excuse me. Now it's 1-0 to Tommy Kerwin. Runners on first and second for Kerwin. Big gap in the 6 hole if he wants to go the opposite way. That pitch is going to be inside for ball number 2. Quickly, the count is 2-0.
Brown already up to 20 pitches on the outing. Can't afford to keep up this pace if he wants to have any chance at staying in for more than just 2 or 3 innings.
2-0 pitch is going to be outside, ball number 3. For Brown, he's looking for something on the ground, a potential inning-ending double play ball for the Doubledays. They're looking just to continue this, as that pitch is going to barely be on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Count now 3-1. Counts 3-1, scores 3-2. Auburn threatening. That one's going to be drilled in the air. The center fielder, Har, is going to make the play. Rounding and coming home is Michael G. Martino, and he's going to make it without a throw. Runners on the corners. We have a tie game, 3-3. Auburn has responded here in the bottom of the first.
And runners still on first and third. They got a runner in scoring position. The Doubledays could do even more damage. They've already tied it up. Now can they take an early lead?
Good base running from DeCerbo as he immediately saw that ball was going to drop, was able to get from first over to third. Like Ryan just mentioned, runners on the corners. Tie game. Is immediately Kerwin's going to second. Throw is not going to be in time. Now that takes the force away and any potential for a ground ball double play as Kerwin is able to swipe second base there. That's a big steal.
Huge steal. Now 2 runners in scoring position, still just 1 out. A sacrifice fly could do a ton of damage.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch is also going to be outside for ball number 2 to Jack Saker. He's the extra hitter tonight. Still 1 out. Runners on second and third for Saker. Pitch outside part of the plate for strike number 1.
When the Doubledays have decided to swing, they've managed to put the ball in place successfully. I'm going to look forward to seeing them keep doing that throughout this game.
Pitch outside, 3-1 count.
Very patient display from these batters.
Putting together great at-bats here against Brown, who I mentioned only had 1 other outing to start the season. They're making him work on the mound. 3-1 pitch. It's going to be swung on and miss. Good pitch there from Brown. Went 63 miles per hour. Talk about off speed. Get a swinging Saker. Count now full. Brown readies. Deals. One's going to be hit on the ground to third. Runner at third is going to stay. Ball is bobbled at first. Couldn't make the play. It was Wooten on the scoop. As all runners are going to be safe.
I want to give a lot of credit to Johnny DeCerbo out there on third base in the base running. Look at what he did where he froze the third baseman in Ingram, made him think about it before throwing, made the throw a little bit off target, just enough to where Wooten over there in first wasn't able to make a clean field of the ball, and now the base is still loaded for the Doubledays.
Mentioned it right there. Good job by DeCerbo. Also not immediately taking off for home, because that could have been a play where Ingram gets it and immediately goes home. And DeCerbo could have been out with a tag. Now it's bases loaded for Caden Albright. First pitch you'll see from Brown is going to be in the dirt for ball number 1. Still only 1 out in this inning. Pitch. He drops in there for strike number 1. It was a good curveball there from Brown.
Albright, a local kid out of Cortland High School. He's going to be going to Binghamton University next year.
Pitch.
Batted .500 this past season at the high school level.
You know, I'm not a math expert, but I'd say if you bat .500, that's a pretty good season.
You know, going up there and getting a hit every other time you're at the plate, pretty good.
Pitch is going to be on the ground to the first baseman. He makes the play over to second. That's going to be 1. No one's going to cover first. So that's going to drive in a run for Auburn. Force out was at second, so you're going to have runners on the corner here with 2 outs now in the inning. But Auburn does now have the lead 4-3 as DeSerbo was able to come home and score. That was a good play by Wooten, just getting on the ground to get that ball. That was quickly hit, and he was playing in. Able to make the play, go over to second. Brown was going to step off.
That's why that error was so huge for the Doubledays. What would have been an inning-ending throw right there instead just turned into the second out of the inning.
Absolutely. Pickoff attempt. Not going to be in time to get Albright. That's actually why Brown stepped off, so Wooten could get back to first as they tried the pickoff attempt. First pitch here. Mike Bonfiglio is going to be a swinging strike. Count now 0-1.
Brown already well over 30 pitches.
0-1. Low for ball 1. Count now 1-1. Well, the kids here have definitely got an entertaining first inning. 7 runs on the board so far. That 1-1 pitch is going to be called a strike. Count now 1-2. 7 runs on the board, and Auburn looking for more here with 2 outs and a 4-3 lead. Pitch to Bonfiglio is going to be hit just out of play.
Albright stole second there, but has to make his walk of shame back to first after the foul ball.
Talk about getting steps in. That could be a way. Good jump by Albright. Bonfiglio is just trying to stay alive there. They'll do it again. Brown's 1-2. And be in the dirt for ball 2. Four 3. Auburn, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Runners on the corners. Brown's going to step off and say, hey, let's redo the signs real quick. Brown's worked quickly in this game. So he'll do so again. The 2-2 count. Albright's on the move. That pitch is going to be called on the outside part of the plate. Bonfiglio was not a fan of that one. Brown gets that one to end the first inning, but Auburn makes a comeback. They take a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the first. They'll be back in the field here for the top half of the second. Alex Wooten leads off here for the Pilots as Wyatt Ernst is back on the mound. First pitch is going to be a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Ryan, it's got to feel good for Ernst. You know, had a rough top of the first, comes back out for the second. His team is able to back him up with the lead. That pitch is going to be low for ball number 1.
Yeah, as a pitcher, you always want to know that you can get some run support, even when it's not your best day. The Doubledays did a good job of providing him with that.
Pitch is going to be high and outside. Count now 2-1. Can only imagine it gives Ernst confidence knowing his team's got his back right there. Quick 4 spot to take the lead. That ball is going to be hit out to center. Droge tracking that one, going back, making the play for out number 1. Going to bring up Mason Haar, the center fielder, to the plate.
The Doubledays could certainly use a good outing from Ernst in this matchup. Only have 3 available pitchers after him. Some notable names in there: Tyler Vivacqua, Adam Sullivan, and then a few other guys. So not a ton of help that they'll get if Ernst is only able to last 2 or 3 innings.
Great point and great play made by Kerwin to Albright right there. Ground out to shortstop. Great pick by Albright there. Throws a little low. Albright made the pick and quickly 2 outs. First pitch in there is going to be strike number 1 to Chris Finoccaria. Ernst readies and deals high for ball number 1. And the reason why they have limited amount of pitchers is because in that 14-0 game last night, they used 4 relievers in that game, having to immediately go to the bullpen. That pitch is going to be outside for a count now 2-1. So like you mentioned, having a good start here from Ernst that not only keeps you in the ball game, but is able to last a number of innings, that could be huge for the bullpen and the relievers. 2-1 pitch, hit in the air, popped up. Kerwin's going to go back, but Droge is going to come in, call him off. That's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Wyatt Ernst. That's a great bounce back inning. As Auburn's going to come to the plate, leading 4-3 here at Falcon Park. Mac Mahar is at the plate here for the Doubledays. This will be his first at-bat against Newark this season. Did not play last night or in the June 6th game against Newark's. His first pitch he sees from Brown is going to be outside for ball number 1.
Mahar, the only batter in the Doubledays order that didn't get up in the first inning.
Count quickly 2-0. Mahar readies. Swung on a miss. Good pitch by Brown there. Count now 2-1. Mahar, the local kid from Auburn, pitched low, 3-1. Plays collegiately at Mercyhurst University. Here in the second inning as Brown readies the 3-1. That's going to be low and outside for a walk. Another leadoff walk similar to how the first inning started for Auburn. It's going to bring up Josh Thompson, who was the leadoff hitter in the first inning and worked a 5-pitch walk.
You talk about efficiency with pitchers, and you want at least 50% of your pitches thrown to be strikes. Well, in this outing, Brown only has 19 of his 44 pitches as strikes so far.
First pitch will be a strike, as Thompson was taking. You got to give credit to the Doubledays as well, not chasing balls in this game, trying to find pitches that they can drive. That pitch is going to be low in the dirt for ball number 1.
Certainly, they've been very patient, a quality that oftentimes breeds success at the plate.
Have not been expanding the zone or chasing. The count is 1-1 to Thompson. That one's outside. Count now 2-1. Excuse me. Two-one. Be in the dirt. Count is now 3-1. It's Josh Thompson. Three-one pitch. In there for strike number 2. Good pitch by Brown. One thing I'll say about Brown, seen when he has been able to locate the plate, his off-speed pitches have been effective. And few and far between today as Thompson fouls that one off to stay alive.
Yeah, but when he's gone to his fastball over the middle, the Doubledays have been all over it.
100%. Brown has stayed away from that pitch here in the second inning. Thompson readies full count. Brown deals outside ball 4 and walk number 2 in this inning. Going to be a meeting on the mound here. We'll be right back after this. The quick meeting at the mound is concluded. Probably a smart one because Austin Droge was coming to the plate. Had an RBI double back last inning to get Auburn on the board to start this game. See if he's going to square around a bunt. He's going to pull back actually, and the ball's going to get past the catcher, advancing Maher to third. So with one pitch, runners now on the corners instead of just first and second.
The Doubledays certainly like that, because that means the base is wide open in front of Josh Thompson, who's been known to use his speed to terrorize the catcher.
And Thompson on the move right there. No throw to second. Thompson is going to be sliding in safely there. Just like that. 2 pitches. Runners on second and third here for Austin Droge, who's in a hitter's count. 2-0. Brown deals in the dirt. Count now 3-0. Now the question is, we saw the RBI double Droge had in the first, excuse me. Now in the second, do you give him a red light here, 3-0, or do you let him see if he has a pitch to hit?
I think you just give him the red light. With how wild Brown has been, I don't think he can get 3 strikes that aren't just meatballs right in a row.
isn't even able to get a strike right there. 4-pitch walk to Austin Droge. So he's going to take first. 3 batters up, and 3 batters have walked for the Doubledays here as Michael G. Martino comes to the plate, was hit by a pitch in that last inning. 1 of 2 is the first pitch he sees, is going to be high for ball number 1.
G. Martino thrives under pressure. Now with the bases loaded, not a ton of pressure because there's still no outs, but he's known to do damage in these scenarios.
Talked about it last home game, 7 home runs in his high school season. That second pitch is going to be low for ball number 2. Nowhere to put G. Martino. As there is action in the Pilots bullpen. We wonder, is this Jason Brown's final hitter if he's not able to get G. Martino? Pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Count now 2-1.
G. Martino, a very aggressive batter. I can't imagine he goes down looking in this at-bat.
That pitch is going to be blooped over the head of the second baseman and into the outfield just in front of Harris. That ball is going to be misplayed, allowing 2 runs to come in to score. To third, second, that throw is going to be in time to get G. Martino, who is extending that from a single over to second, trying to make a little bit much there. But either way, 2 runs score for Auburn, extending this lead to 6-3. Good job for G. Martino coming in. Not trying to do too much. Little bloop single into the outfield. Scores 2.
G. Martino's first hit of his Auburn Doubledays career.
Big run right there. There's now going to be a runner on third. 1 out here. 6-3 ball game. First pitch, Colson Thompson outside. Second pitch, also outside. Two-0 pitch, outside again. Ball number 3. Tough.
Skipper Marcus Smith, he's ready to go out there. If this is a ball, it's almost definitely going to be a new pitcher on the mound for the Pilots.
3-0 pitch is dealt. 4 straight pitches outside.
And there we go.
That's going to be the end of the line for Jason Brown, as Colson Thompson walked right there. Now there's going to be runners on the corners here, as we'll be right back after this pitching change from Newark. Gianni DeSerbo in the batter's box for Auburn as he's going to face a new pitcher. Little bunt is going to go foul. Auburn trying to play a little small ball here. That was going to bring Austin Droge in to score, but that ball just foul.
A completely different look for the Doubledays. They go from a 5'8 southpaw Jason Brown to a 6'2 righty pitcher in Ty Baker.
Ty Baker also, as you can see, sidearm pitcher. Actually, that's more, I want to say, submarine than sidearm. That second pitcher is going to be inside for ball one. Count now 1-1.
A very unique, very unorthodox delivery for Baker.
Not something you see every day as Baker readies for the 1-1. The pitch is going to be drilled to left field. Plating one as Thompson is going to stay at second. Auburn adds to their total. Now a 7-3 ball game here at Falcon Park.
Now you have Tommy Kerwin coming up to the plate, who he was one of the two Auburn players to pick up a hit in their first time around. Have to imagine that he's eager to add on to his total.
First pitch that Kerwin's going to see is going to be high for ball number one. Colson Thompson stands at second. Gianni DeSerbo, excuse me, stands at first. Pitch swung on and missed. Big swing there from Tommy Kerwin.
He was looking to knock that one out of the park.
Count 1-1. Baker, the right-hander, to the left-hander. That one hit him. Too much inside, and we're going to see our third hit by pitch here today.
Just costly errors from this Newark squad. We talked about it with the Doubledays yesterday, where they were just getting outclassed in every aspect and making dumb mistakes. That's what Newark's been doing this game, just dumb, avoidable mistakes.
Jack Saker to the box. First pitch he sees going to be high for ball number one. Newark having a tough time finding the strike zone. That pitch will find the strike zone. Off speed, submarine pitch from Baker, 60 miles per hour, is going to be a called strike. Count now 1-1. 7-3, bases loaded. Auburn at the plate. Pitch popped in the air. The second baseman, Spoto, is going to go out, and he's going to make the catch. Infield fly rule was in effect with the umpire raising his right hand, signaling it while the ball was in the air. So that's going to be 2 outs here as Caden Albright comes to the plate. Hey, if you're Auburn, you do not want to settle. You want to continue to add runs. You know this Newark offense can get going at any moment. First pitch is in there for strike number one. You know firsthand, just last night, Newark, as we mentioned earlier, put up 14 runs against Auburn. That pitch is going to be outside for ball one.
That's including a 7-run outburst. So we've seen how this Newark team can, in one inning, just with a snap of the fingers, they can get right back in a game.
100%. Already put up 3 in the first inning, Newark did. As that pitch is going to be hit in the air to center field. It's going to be caught by Hara. Making the play and ending the inning as Ty Baker is able to come in and not allow too much more damage from Newark. But it is a 7-3 Auburn lead, as we're going to see Wyatt Ernst come back out for his third inning of work right after this. Luke Backman, Ryan Story here as the Auburn Doubledays have a 7-3 lead. And a quick reminder, if you're watching this game on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the notifications so you know every time the Auburn Doubledays are live here with a game. It's Cooper Loyal in the batter's box to start this third inning against Wyatt Ernst. First pitch is going to be low for ball number 1. Ryan, we're close to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Looking forward to getting there. It's a big milestone, so yeah, make sure you subscribe, follow, do everything.
Watch the Auburn Doubledays throughout your summer. Pitch is going to be low. Count quickly 3-0 to Loyal. Loyal worked a 4-pitch walk in his first at-bat in the first inning. 1 ball away from working a second walk as Ernst trying to avoid that, but will not be able to. A second 4-pitch walk to Cooper Loyal. He'll take first base, bringing up Dean Spotto. Flew out to left field. A deep fly ball out to left field in his last at-bat. Ernst had a very good bounce back second inning, 1-2-3. That pitch is going to be outside. Good job by G. Martino getting it to that ball and not allowing it to get to the backstop.
G. Martino's an underrated fielding catcher. A lot of people just look at him as a hitter primarily, but what he does behind the plate is just as impactful with what he does in the batter's box.
Absolutely, and I think part of that strike call right there was G. Martino framing it on the inside part of the plate. Count now 1-1. Good job from Ernst getting back in the count. Up the middle, that ball is going to be tracked down by Thompson. Steps on the bag over to first in time for a double play. Great job by Thompson. Was able to field the ball, stop on a dime, go over, touch second, and go to first in time for the double play. That's a way to help a pitcher right now quickly. 2 outs in this inning.
That's a masterclass performance by the second baseman in Thompson.
First pitch is going to be ball to Grant Ingram. Pitch in there for strike number 1. Count now 1-1. We talked about earlier, you talked about Ryan as the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be low for ball number 2. You want Ernst to give you length in this game, and I think that double play, if he's able to get out of this inning here against Grant Ingram, that could really help him going farther in this game. That pitch is going to be driven out to left field. Colson Thompson, that is going to play it on a hop. So that's going to be a single for Grant Ingram here to extend this third inning.
I would have liked to see Thompson make a play at it instead of just letting it drop in front of him. Looked reasonably able to get.
Grant Ingram reaches on a single here with 2 outs, bringing up Jonathan Decker, who had a single that plated 2 in the first inning. First pitch he sees is going to be inside for ball number 1. Inside for strike number 1. Ernst deals. That one's going to be hit on the ground, right back to Ernst. He'll field it, head over to first. The throw is going to be on the ground and not going to be able to make the play as Albright. So that's going to just an unforced error from the Doubledays. And Ernst, he was heading over to first, kind of short arm that throw. Albright was not able to make up the pick. It was going to be a tough pick. They were too close to each other. Tough play from Albright. But either way, it's going to be second and first now for the Pilots.
Can't afford that mistake if you want to keep the Pilots out of this game. Just an unforced error in what should have been the end of the inning.
We have a visitor here in the broadcast booth. This is Casey Falcon. Here's the first pitch in to Brady King is going to be outside for ball number 1. Pitch is going to be on the ground. Oh, what a play by Bonfiglio. Diving play at third base to save 1 run. Might have got down the line to score 2, but not because Bonfiglio dove and stopped and made the great catch there at third base. They call it the hot corner for a reason. That's going to be the third out and get Wyatt Ernst and the Doubledays out of the top of the third. We'll be back here at Falcon Park with the bottom of the third. Auburn leading 7-3. We're going to see a new pitcher here for the Pilots. It's actually going to be the center fielder coming in to pitch, Mason Hara, as that's going to bring in Casey Wensley to play center field. That's going to be the defensive substitution. First pitch spiked in the dirt. That was an 86-mile-per-hour fastball there. I think that might have been the fastest pitch we've seen today.
Definitely the fastest pitch we've seen today. It looked like a blur compared to the two guys that the Pilots threw out there earlier. A big difference for these Auburn batters that they're going to have to adjust to.
Bonfiglio at the plate here. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance. That pitch is going to be low and in the dirt for ball number 2. That pitch was also, first pitch was 86 miles per hour. Second pitch was 85 miles per hour. Is the third pitch in the dirt again, 85 miles per hour. So from 3 pitches, it looks like we're kind of seeing what's in Hara's arsenal right here. A lot of fastballs.
If he can find the plate, he's deadly, but so far has been wildly inaccurate.
3-0. Inside for ball number 4. 4-pitch walk. Feels like we've said that a few times here today in this ball game. It's the third time for the Doubledays there's been a 4-pitch walk. Droge, Colson Thompson were the recipients last time. Bonfiglio started this inning, last at bat with a 4-pitch walk. Bring it up, Mike. Maher's the first pitch is going to be low for ball number 1. 5 consecutive balls here. New pitcher Mason Hara.
Hara's primarily a position player, but anytime you have someone who can throw in the mid to high 80s, obviously they're going to have some pitching experience.
Pitch outside. 6 consecutive balls here for Hara. And for the Doubledays, I might say I'm not swinging until we see a strike over the plate.
Gotta see one before you decide to put the green light on.
2-0 pitch. In the dirt again. 7 consecutive. Hara. Again, he's hovering that 85, 86. His lowest pitch here was 83 in the fourth pitch to Bonfiglio. Just location has been the issue in these first 7 pitches. Mahar, he worked a walk in that second inning, looking to do so again. Runner on the move, throw down away from the shortstop, getting into second bases. That's going to bring Bonfiglio over to third with no throw. Pitch was a strike, the first strike of Har's appearance, but comes with some damages. Is just like that. Now the runner's gone from first to third.
The Doubledays will take that strike if it means getting their base or their 2 extra bases.
100%. Now that ball is going to be hit in the air out to right field. DiGiacomo is going to come under it. Are we going to see Bonfiglio go? No, he's going to bluff. I think that was a good idea. Decided not to run there. Good throw by DiGiacomo from right field. Maher flies out to right.
I mentioned earlier in this game, DiGiacomo has the arm to really make any runner on third base think about going before he throws. And yeah, DiGiacomo's arm able to intimidate Bonfiglio into staying at third.
Josh Thompson started the lineup, comes up to bat again here in the third inning. First pitch he sees is going to be high for ball 1. Third time batting in 3 innings for Josh Thompson. Worked a walk both of his previous 2 at-bats.
Both times 4 pitch walks. He hasn't swung at a ball yet.
Pitch can be there on the outside part of this plate for strike number 1. One pitch. There. Hart took something off that one. 72 miles per hour and was able to locate it well for strike number 2. Let's see if that's going to be something he does. Maybe not try and throw, 100% his hardest every single pitch, but maybe take something off of it to help find the location. The 1-2 pitch can be fouled straight off, right over by the Doubledays dugout. Good job. These guys have some good reflexes. Got out the way of that one. Count remains 1-2.
Going to need good reflexes if you're playing at the caliber of baseball that the Doubledays play.
Sure his teammates are going to give Josh Thompson a little bit of, hey, man, you're trying to kill us over here?
Yeah.
1-2 is going to be low. Count now 2-2. The runner on third is Mike Bonfiglio. He reached because of a walk, then stole a second, then air from the catcher on the throw, let him reach third. Pitch is going to be in the dirt. Wild pitch. Going to get away from the catcher. Toss home. Not in time as Bonfiglio read that perfectly and made his way home. Adds another run to Auburn's total today, making the score 8-3 here in the bottom of the third inning.
Again, unforced errors by this Newark team, costing them big time runs in every inning by the Doubledays that Newark easily could have gotten away from.
Count still full to Thompson. 3-2. It's going to be a little dribbler up the line. Pitcher's going to make the play hard. Is going to go to first in time to get Josh Thompson. The speedy Josh Thompson was not an easy play at all. Good play by Mason Hara to get that ball, field it cleanly, and fire over to first in time. You got to think that's probably some of the fielder in him. Obviously, he plays center field, but knows how to work his way around a ground ball. Was able to field it cleanly. Something some pitchers might have had a little bit tougher of a time doing so.
Yeah, and that's why that wild pitch was so impactful, because that easily could have been a throw over to home to prevent a run from scoring there. Now you have the free run for the Doubledays that probably wouldn't have happened if we saw a bit more control from Har.
3 errors on the day for the Pilots. Just some unforced errors as Austin Droge take the first 2 pitches. in this at bat. Count now 2-0. Droge, he's had himself a nice day. A RBI double in the first and a 4-pitch walk in the second. Here in the third, he's worked the count 2-0 to start against Hara. He deals. Can be in there for strike number 1. 84 miles per hour to Droge. Hara's been able to find his way a little bit here as the innings progressed. After 7 consecutive balls to start the innings, kind of found his way. Pitch is going to be swung on and missed by Droge. Good pitch right there. Hard to get Droge, who's taking a nice cut at it. Count now 2-2.
The Doubledays trying to recreate their success at jumping on pitches. A bit tougher against the guy who throws 85 miles per hour on the regular.
Definitely different from what they were seeing the first 2 innings. As the 2-2, 2 outs delivered. Going to be there on the outside part of the plate. 86 miles per hour from Mason Hara to end the inning, getting Austin Droge looking. But the Auburn Doubledays are still able to get on the board, add another run here in the bottom of the third. Score is now 8-3 as Wyatt Ernest will come out onto the field for his 4th inning of work here when we return. Wyatt Ernst back on the mound here. First pitch is going to be inside for ball number 1 to Louis Boussard. RBI single back in the first inning.
That pitch dipping into the 50s on the breaking ball.
That pitch is going to be hit over and caught in the Doubledays dugout. Not by a fielder, but by a Doubleday. Let's see if I can get a number. This count is 1-1. As Ernst's pitch is going to be hit on a rope over to Albright, who's going to make the play and go over and touch first cleanly for the first out in this inning. For the first out of the inning, as Ernst has done a very good job in this game. Rough first inning as that first pitch is going to be low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Was able to bounce back in the second, 1-2-3. And was able to get some help fielding in that last inning. This pitch swung on and missed to Nick DiGiacomo. Able to get the first out here in this inning. Count now 1-1.
With how Ernst has done over the last 2.5 innings, you have to imagine we're looking at a solid 5 to 6 innings of work from him tonight, unless there's something disastrous that happens by the Newark hitters.
Would have to think so, as the 1-2 is going to be hit on a rope, but hey, guess who it is again? Mike Bonfiglio with another snag over there at third base, making the leaping grab. Hey, he had one just like that, but was diving to end the last inning. Bonfiglio leaping there at third base. He's played a very, Very good third base here today. Swung on and missed by Alex Wooten in the batter's box. Big swing from Wooten right there. And a quick reminder, this game is only 7 innings today, as that pitch is going to be low for ball number 1. So Ernest can take his team 5-6, and they build up a big enough lead, and as that one's going to be hit on a rope over to Tommy Kerwin at shortstop. Another quick inning for Wyatt Ernst. That's going to bring up the Doubledays. This might be exactly what the Doubledays wanted from Ernst. Quick innings. The Doubledays look to try and add to this lead. Already leading 8-3. We'll be back here at the bottom of the 4th. Michael G. Martino leads off for the Doubledays. He was hit by a pitch. Had a 2 RBI single this game so far. He leads off here in the bottom of the 4th. Mason Hara still on the mound for the Pilots. His first pitch is going to be low for ball 1.
G. Martino's had a fantastic game, whether it's behind the plate as a catcher, the batter's box as a hitter. He's been doing it all for the Doubledays.
Definitely been leaving his imprint on this game. If he can find his way on base here to start this 4th inning. He swung on and missed. Good cut by G. Martino. Count now 1-1. Kids here in the ballpark having fun doing the Macarena in between innings, seeing a Doubledays lead so far. Beautiful day to be at the ballpark. 1-1. One's hit in the air and down in center field. G. Martino's 2nd hit of the day. He's reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate.
I don't know, Luke. You're making the fans at home feel bad that they can experience this beautiful Auburn weather.
Hey, if you can get here, make sure you get here. Might be a little late today, but throughout the season, make sure you come to the ballpark. It's always a good time.
And if you're that desperate to hear us, maybe put an AirPod in or something. Put your headphones in. That way you can listen to our commentary throughout the game, even if you're in person.
100%. And like we said earlier, make sure we hit that subscribe button if you're watching. I got to check to see. Maybe we've hit 1,000 already. I'm not sure. On the road to 1,000. Second pitch swung on and missed. Colson Thompson had a sac fly in the 1st and walked in the 2nd inning. Always a fun time here at the ballpark. Will there be trivia games as that ball's hit in the air out to right field? DeGiacomo is going to be under that one. G. Martino is going to retreat back to first base here for the 1st out of the inning. Gianni DeCerbo comes to the plate. He's reached base twice. He was also hit by a pitch like G. Martino earlier in the game in the 1st inning. Then had an RBI single.
DeCerbo has been instrumental to the Doubledays' undefeated home record this season. He's excelled every time he's been at Falcon Park.
First pitch in there on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Doubledays have played well at Falcon Park, this year. 2-0, 0-1 count, fouled off. Count now 0-2. Doubledays, they're 2-2-1 on the year. Newark 3-0-1. Doubledays trying to hand Newark their first loss. The tie, obviously, when these two teams played each other just 3 days ago, is the 0-2 pitch. Going to be hit in the air out to right field. DiGiacomo's on the run. And he's going to make a sliding play, but not able to grab the ball. One's going to hit the wall, advancing the runners to second and third. Tough play for DiGiacomo there in the corner. Gave it his all. That ball was falling fast. Fell, I believe it hit just a part of his glove. Wasn't able to reach out to get all of it. G. Martino had to hold in between first and second, seeing if DiGiacomo was going to catch it. As soon as he saw that ball drop, he was on his way to third, and quickly Gianni DeCerbi was on his way to second. Pitch right up the middle. That's going to plate 1. Let's going to see if DeCerbo's going to come around to score. He's rounding third. No, he's going to go back. You know what? Good call as that cutoff. That ball got into the cutoff man quickly. But another quick run for the Auburn Doubledays as Tommy Kerwin saw the first pitch. Like the first pitch he saw, hit it up right back through the middle, scoring 1.
The Doubledays have scored in every inning thus far.
That will always be a key to success. On the move is going to be Tommy Kerwin. He gets there without a throw into second.
A shaky transition there from catcher Brady King. Couldn't get it to his throwing hand cleanly.
First pitch was a ball to Jack Sakers. 9-3 ball game. Pitch high. First pitch, was count 1-1. Count is 1-1. Saker. Ooh, good breaking pitch from Alright, that count's going to be 1-2. First time he's able to really get ahead of an Auburn Doubleday batter in his relief appearance. 1-2 pitch from Hara is going to be high. For ball number 2, count now 2-2.
Despite the commanding lead for the Doubledays, they've left plenty of runners on base, looking to avoid leaving 2 runners in scoring position on in this inning.
Our deals going to be just outside. Good eye. Saker right there. Count now full 3-2. Full count. Runners on second and third for the Doubledays. The pitch fouled off. Count now remains full 3-2. Bottom 4, Auburn has a 9-3 lead with Ducks on the pond. Full count. Pitch is going to be swung on and missed. It's going to be a big strikeout for the Pilots, as that's going to bring 2 outs in the inning. I'm going to bring up Caden Albright to the batter's box.
That's big for Har right there. Takes the sacrifice fly out of the equation for Albright.
Albright reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch he saw is going to be in there for strike number 1. Reached on a fielder's choice and then flew out to center in his 2 attempts.
Har seemed to have locked in on the strike zone this inning.
Ground ball over to shortstop Loyal, over to first in time. As Har is able to get out of damage here in the bottom of the 4th. But Auburn is still able to let 1 cross the plate. They extend their lead up to 9-3 here. bottom of the fourth is Wyatt Ernest back out on the mound for his fifth inning of work. We'll be right back after this.
We're back here in the top of the fourth inning at Falcon Park, where the Doubledays are sporting a sizable lead, up 9-3 on the contest against the Newark Pilots. We now have a pinch hitter for the Pilots. That's Casey Wensley batting to lead off the inning for Newark. He replaces Mason Haar, who took over as the pitcher on this Pilot squad, as that second pitch of the at-bat swung on and whiffed for strike two. Ernst gets ahead early, up 0-2 in the count.
Exactly what you want to see from Ernst here. Ahead in the count, working efficiently.
Ernst's been very efficient since that 3-run first inning. Nearly half of his pitches came in that first inning, only around 60 pitches on the game so far.
Exactly where you want to see him here in this fifth inning.
Putting a lot of pressure on Wensley, who drills that one into shallow left field, and that will be caught by the left fielder. That's Thompson making the grab. Thompson been very active today. The Pilots been targeting left field, and Thompson's been under it most of the time.
Olson Thompson playing a very good left field, as you mentioned. Had a nice day at the plate as well.
Now Chris Fidocario up to bat for this Newark Pilots squad as that first pitch just outside on the right side. 1-0 count. Fidocario, the extra hitter on this Pilot squad out of SUNY Niagara. 1-1 count. A big swing there from Fidocario. That one way outside. 2-1 count. Ernst has stayed pretty consistent this game, sticking in the 60s and the 70s, not really pushing the limits of his fastball. That one popped up down the right side, and that's the first baseman, Albright, making the easy put out there.
One thing about Ernst, he's not going to beat you with power, but he's going to beat you with finesse, like as you mentioned, not really getting in the 80s, high 70s with his fastball. But after that first inning, he has been able to locate pitches throughout this game and really hit his spots around the plate.
It seemed like he was kind of feeling out that Newark lineup the first time around. Since then, he's been electric on the mound as it's Cooper Loyal coming up to bat. Loyal has walked in both of his at-bats so far this game. 2 outs on the board, 1 ball. No strikes.
Loyal's actually not seen a strike at all today. Both walks were 4-pitch walks, and so far 10 pitches, 10 balls Loyal's seen at the plate.
Ernst gonna look to change that on this pitch, and that's a chopper into left center field. That's Loyal's first hit of the day. Loyal having a pretty good day at the plate, staying patient. The first strike that he saw, he swung on it and capitalized for a base hit.
You got to think at some point he was ready to swing the bat. Had the bat on his shoulder every time he'd been up to the plate. So immediately when he saw a pitch he liked, he was realizing, you know what, I'm going to take a swing at this. His first single of the day.
Loyal, a good batter out of Albany, posted a .319 on-base percentage last year. Played and started in 49 games for the Great Danes. As that one also hit into shallow left center, and a diving play. Thompson not able to make the grab, so that's going to be another single for the Pilots as they get runners on the corners first and third. Ernst retreats back to the mound.
Got to give Colson Thompson all the credit in the world right there. That ball was falling quickly. He made a diving play and was just unable to grab that one. He made that a lot closer than I thought he was going to even, get close to that ball. Made it a lot closer. Now trying to work out of some trouble here is Ernst.
Ernst put down the first two batters with ease, but since then has struggled with 2 outs on the board. That one going to be hit. Another shallow center field hit, and that one will be corralled. That's Austin Droge making the play for the final out of the inning. A first pitch swing there from Spotto, and that will end the inning for the Pilots. The Doubledays maintained their 9-3 lead heading into the bottom of the fifth. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseball. The Doubledays will be facing a new pitcher from the Newark Pilots. That's Sean Driscoll taking the mound out of Barry University. He's a senior, has plenty of experience pitching lefty today. While the Doubledays have had one pitcher the entire game, we've seen 4 on the mound from the Pilots. Luke, how does that play an impact on the game and the game script for this one?
I think that's huge. Is that first pitch is low for ball one. I think it's huge for the Doubledays because not only have they seen multiple pitchers, they've made multiple pitchers work. Seeing a lot of pitches from each of these new guys that they've seen. First pitch low. They haven't been, as we mentioned earlier in the game, expanding the strike zone, allowing the pitchers to get some cheap strikes. They've been having great at bats there in the box.
They certainly have. Driscoll seems to be following the path of Har with mid-80s pitches, but a little wild. He's worked this count up to 3-0 already, and that one will also miss the plate just outside on the right side for a 4-pitch walk. Now McMahar coming to the plate for the Doubledays, with Bonfiglio taking his base.
Second consecutive 4-pitch walk for Bonfiglio. Had one back in the third inning. Came around to score in that inning. Had a stolen base, so we might see him on the move soon.
Mahar, the local kid from Auburn, still looking for his first hit this game. Walked in his first at-bat, flew out in his second. That pitch, another missed breaking ball for the 5th consecutive ball. Similar to what we talked about with Har, the Doubledays pretty much going to have the red light until he can find the zone. As that's going to be a passed ball, Bonfiglio will take his base with ease. T's taking third, but was never really going to show any real indicators of going.
The kids here at the stadium, hey, you mentioned Mac Mahar, local kid, they're chanting, "Let's go Mac." So gotta be a good feeling there at the batter's box, up 2-0 and having your name chanted by these kids.
As that pitch misses the strike zone again. Rough start here for Driscoll, who's thrown 7 straight balls.
We've seen this a few times with the relievers the Pilots have brought in, just not able to locate the zone. Able to locate it there for a strike on the outside part of the plate, but still, 7 of the 8 pitches from Driscoll to start his appearance have been balls.
Driscoll lines that one out right to the pitcher. Or it must have been a ground out because there's a pickle going on. And can he get there in time? He gets there in time. A great play there from the base runner Bonfiglio to make it to third safely. What a play. Driscoll tried to get the force out, wasn't able to get there, got Bonfiglio in a bit of a pickle, but manages to escape it. So now the Doubledays still have a runner on third with just what, or sorry, they have a runner on third with no outs. Runners on the corners.
Spotto, the second baseman, was tracking Bonfiglio down to third, just held on to that ball way too long. By the time he let it go, Bonfiglio was already sliding into third base. Another unforced error from the Pilots.
Runners on the corners as that first pitch at the at-bat will be a ball. Josh Thompson, the top of the lineup, up to bat for the Doubledays. Second pitch there will find the strike zone for the first strike thrown by Driscoll. As that one fouled off, Thompson falls behind to the count 1-2. Thompson walked in his first 2 at-bats of the night, grounded out his last time up, still looking for that first elusive hit. Pitch comes in, and that nearly clips Thompson. Doesn't, though, and the throw down to second from King will catch Mahar. So the Doubledays now have 1 out, nobody on the first corner, but still a base runner on third. That's Bonfiglio there, threatening to take home.
I think part of Mahar, like me, thought that ball hit Josh Thompson, so I think he got off to that one's going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike 3, looking to get Josh Thompson. But for Mahar, I think he kind of got off to a slow secondary to try and steal second, and then when he realized, oh, I got to go, it was a little too late from the throw down to second.
Yeah, normally they have a bit more urgency with their base running. Now it's Austin Droge stepping up to the plate after that strikeout. 2 outs on the board, still a runner on third, as Droge shows bunt, pulls back for ball 1.
Interesting for Droge to show bunt there with 2 outs in this inning. I wonder if that was for show just on the first pitch to kind of throw off the pitcher, or is actually trying to think about laying one down.
Droge also does have the speed, though, to leg out a single if he puts the bunt in the right spot.
100%.
1-1 count for Droge. Still 2 outs on the board, so no chance of a sacrifice fly. The chants from the fans getting loud as the kids riled up, looking to see the Doubledays keep their streak of runs in every inning going. That one in the dirt for ball 3.
You know, might have to challenge the fans. If you can get a crowd as loud as these kids for the rest of the season, that'd be impressive, because these kids are pretty loud.
They've really brought their A game today, as that one fouled off to load the count 3-2.
Hey, wouldn't you get loud if you got to skip a day of school too?
I mean, I would be. You let me go to a Doubledays game, let me take college off for a little bit. I'll be the loudest person in the stands.
Absolutely.
That one in the dirt for ball 4, just not even reaching home plate on the pitch from Driscoll, and that brings Colson Thompson, the cleanup hitter, up to bat for the Doubledays. Or sorry, Michael Gimartino up to bat for the Doubledays. That's Droge taking his base. Gimartino on the day, 2 singles and 1 hit by pitch. There's that one right down the middle for strike 1. The breaking ball about 74 miles per hour there from Driscoll.
Nice breaking ball from Driscoll there.
That one way outside, and an easy steal there from Droge, who slides, but for no reason, as King didn't even make the attempt to throw it down.
And you talk about just speed. Austin Droge certainly has that speed here.
2 runners in scoring position as that one's grounded to the shortstop, Loyal, who puts out Gimartino for the final out of the inning. The Doubledays' first time around not getting a run here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll come back at the top of the 6th. The Doubledays still holding a 9-3 lead. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseball. Still Wyatt Ernst on the mound for the Doubledays. He's coming in for his 6th inning of work. He'll be kicking things off against Jonathan Decker, the cleanup hitter from the Newark Pilots. Ernst hasn't given up a run since the first inning when he gave up 3. Since then, a stellar outing from the pitcher.
He has just gotten better and better and better as this game has gone along and progressed. Great job from Wyatt Ernst so far.
And he's done great in every type of scenario, whether it's been a simple 1-2-3 inning or he's gotten into trouble and he's managed to evade it with ease.
And you have to give some credit to also the defense behind him. They have made some great plays. Mike Bonfiglio at third has made some really nice plays. Really a team effort so far on defense.
2 consecutive foul balls from the batter in Decker. King and Boussard following up after Decker finishes his at-bat. Decker, the designated hitter out of Lafayette, has reached base both times, first off a single, then off of an error. Still trails 0-2 in the count.
And this is one thing that Ernst has done throughout the games. He's been able to get ahead of hitters. He wasn't doing that in the first inning. Was in a lot of hitters' counts, falling behind in the count. He's been working his way ahead in a lot of these counts.
But that's what Ernst does. He dices you up, and that's what he did right there against Decker. A beautiful breaking ball to make Decker look like a fool on that swing, catch him slipping. Now Brady King stepping up to the plate to take on Ernst.
Great just sequence of pitches right there from Ernst. Able to get Decker swinging. Go down for the first out.
King hasn't gotten on base yet. A ground out and a line out thus far. As that first pitch misses the strike zone for ball 1. That one chopped towards Bonfiglio, but going to be foul ball. just outside the left field line. Brady King out of Barry University, something we've seen a bit from this Pilots squad. Is that one in a very similar spot where Driscoll's able to make a play on it, but it's foul.
Bonfiglio, man, he's going for everything. He's not trying to let any ball get past him. Made a diving play there, even though that ball was foul. You love to see the effort right there and hustle from him.
Yeah, Bonfiglio, not the biggest guy, but sneaky athletics to get 5'10", 200, can make a play on any ball in his vicinity. There's that pitch outside for the second ball of the at-bat. Still 2 strikes on the board, 1 out. As the pitch comes in, and that's not even close. Going to load it up. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ernst well over 80 pitches at this point, but with the way he's been throwing, we could see a complete game from him since it's just a 7-inning contest. That one swung on and chopped into right center. That's going to be an easy base hit. We're looking at a double, maybe even a triple. He stands up at second and isn't going to push his luck. Stays at second. A great hit there from Brady King. Gets on base for the first time this game, bringing up Louis Bouchard with a runner in scoring position on second base.
Good job from Brady King battling in that at-bat. Went the other way with it to right center field. Stand-up double. Have a runner in scoring position for the Pilots. Something that they haven't been able to do, score, since the first inning.
As that pitch going to be in for strike 1. That one a looking strike. And another chopper into right center field. That might score a run. Center fielder Austin Droge throws it in, but it's not going to even reach home plate. As the Pilots get on the board for the first time since the first inning, it's now just a 5-run lead for the Doubledays. It's an RBI single from Bouchard, his second single of the night, bringing up Nick DiGiacomo with 2 outs on the board. Sorry, just 1 out on the board. Is that one way high for ball 1? One zero count. The pitch comes in. That's chopped on, and Bonfiglio not able to reach that one. He's made some excellent plays at third, but couldn't get there. As that's going to be a double that does not score any runs. Wouldn't have surprised me to see King make a push for home there, but he's going to play it safe, knowing that his team is down by 5 still. 1 run necessarily doesn't change things, but if they're able to get multiple runs in there, which they have the potential to do with 2 runners in scoring position, that could make this a tight ball game down the stretch for the Doubledays. Two runners in scoring position with Alex Wootman coming up to bat, as that's going to be Doubleday skipper Matthew Petrosi coming to have a chat with Wyatt Ernst. We'll likely see a new pitcher after the intermission. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseball. It's a new pitcher for the Doubledays. Wyatt Ernst received a standing ovation when walking off the mound. Eric Korzeniowski taking the mound now for the Doubledays. His first work of the season, I believe.
It's a junior at SUNY. First pitch in there for a strike. Aniota, transferred from Onondaga Community College. His hometown is Syracuse, so local kid around this area.
Love to see the local talent on Auburn. They did a great job of recruiting locals this season as that one chopped into shallow right field. And DeCerbo making the play, preventing a run from being scored, and that will be the second out of the inning.
Huge job by DeCerbo making the running catch right there, and on the run, runner at third base said, I'm not going to even test his arm, keeping one off the board now. 2 outs here in this inning.
Love the play by DeCerbo there. A lot of outfielders would have just let that drop down in front of them, prevented maybe a runner from scoring, because even if it dropped for a single, it still could have prevented a runner from scoring. But DeCerbo hustled, made the not the diving grab, but the running grab. As it's now Casey Wensley up to bat for the Newark Pilots. His second at bat of the afternoon. That one chopped, fouled behind him. It's an 0-2 count for Wensley early on.
Be huge for the Doubledays if they're able to get out of this inning, only giving up 1. Runners at second and third in scoring position. Huge to keep this at a 5-run ball game.
As the pitch comes in, and that's going to be way outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Pitch comes in and also narrowly misses the strike zone. That's outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board, 2 runners on base, 1 on second, 1 on third. We're nearing 1 o'clock Eastern time. So that one swung on and missed to end the inning. A beautiful pitch there from Korzeniowski to send the Doubledays into the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back for more Auburn Doubledays baseball here on the Auburn Doubledays Sports Network.
Back here in the bottom of the 6th, Auburn poses a 9-4 lead as Colson Thompson is going to come to the plate facing new pitcher Jacob Paletto for the Pilots. Paletto's first pitch here to Thompson is going to be in there for strike number 1. Thompson had a sac fly back in the first inning, walked, and then flew out to right field in his 3 at-bats today. Second pitch is going to be low for ball number 2. Pitch going to be low again. Now 2-1 to Colson Thompson. Auburn trying to remain perfect here at home. 2-1 pitch is going to be hit on the ground to the shortstop Loyal. He's going to gather and throw over to first in time to get Thompson for the first out of this inning. Again, this is only a 7-inning game, so the top of the 7th will be the Pilots' last chance to make any sort of comeback in this game. If they're not able to, an Auburn Doubleday win. Gianni DeCerbo comes to the plate. First pitch he sees is going to be outside for ball number 1. DeCerbo, he's reached base 3 times. He's onto the plate 3 times. First was because of a hit by pitch, then RBI single in the second, and a double in the fourth. As the second pitch DeCerbo will see is going to be low for ball number 2. Crowd has seen a good one today after Newark put a 14 spot on Auburn last night. Auburn, to a degree, has returned the favor so far. 9-4 in this game. Still some time left. Obviously, the top of the 7th. Newark is so far so good for Auburn. 3-0 pitch low. 4-pitch walk to DeCerbo. He's reached first base every time he's been at the plate. As Tommy Kerwin comes to play the shortstop. Nice day himself. He's reached every time. RBI single. Was hit by a pitch and then another RBI single. 4th inning. And then he stole first base.
As that's a steal thrown down and not there in time. Great run there from DeCerbo to get there. As Kerwin's still up to bat for the Doubledays. So a runner on second for Auburn with 1 out on the board. They're looking to even up the inning after the Pilots put up a run in the top of the 6th. There's still a 5-run lead for Auburn. As that one swung on, that's going to be hit into center field for a base hit. That might score a run, and no, not going, but a second base there for the batter Kerwin. That's going to turn into a double for him as he takes that extra base. DeCerbo played it cautiously, stayed at third. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Doubledays, bringing up Jack Sacker, the extra hitter out of St. Joseph's University.
Talk about speed just throughout this lineup. Kerwin saw that throw was going home, not even going to hit the cutoff man, immediately darted to second. There was going to be no play. Now runners on second and third.
The key there is 0 hesitation. If he hesitated for even a second, he gets thrown out easily. But because he had full 100% commitment, he made it there without any problems.
Absolutely, and good job from DeCerbo holding up at third base, not going home and forcing the issue.
That pitch fouled off as Sacker falls behind 1-2 in the count. 1 out on the board, 2 runners in scoring position. That's going to be Caden Albright up on deck for the Doubledays. Sacker in the batter's box. That pitch way high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes as we pass 1 o'clock here at Falcon Park. Bottom of the 6th inning. Newark actually has more hits than the Doubledays, but Auburn having a cleaner day in the field, resulting in a 5-run lead for Auburn.
You mentioned
that pitch loads up the count for Auburn.
Mentioned it being 1 o'clock. I kind of like these early games.
These early games get us out early. You have the rest of the day to do what you want, Is that pitch going to be the 3rd ball of the at-bat, 3-2 count.
Might have been a little rough waking up this morning, but eventually got the energy.
It's part of the gig. We know these Auburn players, they didn't really have too hard of a time waking up. They just got out there and did their thing from the get-go. That one misses the plate for a walk. That puts runners on every single base. The bases are loaded as Caden Albright steps up to the plate looking for his first hit this game. He's 0 for 3 on the night, or on the day, excuse me. Still got the sun shining right above us. After a little bit of rain early on in the day, I was a bit concerned that one's going to hit Albright. It's going to score a run as the bases still are loaded. Albright not even given the chance to get his first hit of the game. He gets decked instantly as Bonfiglio steps up to bat with the bases loaded.
Auburn, that's the 4th time they've been hit by a pitch today. Certainly wearing it.
Some wildness from these Newark pitchers. One out on the board. Bonfiglio and Mahar due up. 1-0 count as the first pitch misses the strike zone. That one hitting 78 miles per hour.
Paletto started off strong with a leadoff out as that ball's fouled away, but not been able to find it here the rest of the inning.
1 ball, 1 strike on the count. Paletto, the 5th pitcher that Newark has put out there on the mound this game. Shouldn't need another one unless the Pilots are able to go through an amazing run in the top of the 7th as that one high for ball 2.
The roles have been sort of reversed from last night. It was Auburn the one having to use many pitchers and a high-scoring game from Newark. Roles reversed today. Auburn scoring a lot of runs and Newark using a lot of pitchers.
That one misses the plate for ball 3. And I don't know about you, Luke, but I was at least concerned after the top of the first inning when Auburn fell behind 3-0. I was worried there might be a repeat of what happened last night. Since that middle of the first inning, there's been no doubt that Auburn was going to come away with this game. As that one going to walk in another run. Bases remain loaded as Bonfiglio takes his base. That's Kerwin coming around to score for Auburn. And now Mac Mahar, the final batter in the Doubledays order, stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, you mentioned the first inning. It felt like, Newark is picking up right where they left off. Again, credit to Wyatt Ernst. He shut them down through the rest of his start. Auburn trying to come away with the win.
He's been brilliant. Is that one going to be popped into shallow center field? That's Wensley making the play and not letting any runners advance, so the bases remain loaded with 2 outs on the board. The Doubledays have scored 2 runs this inning as Josh Thompson steps up to the plate.
Both runs they've scored this inning have not come from hits. Actually, one from a hit by pitch and then another from a walk. So a hit could do more damage than one in this inning, potentially.
That one misses the strike zone. 1-0 count. The Doubledays sport a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs on the board. The righty pitches to the lefty and Thompson. That one inside for ball 2. Thompson bats lefty, throws righty. That one comes in. Big swing there from Thompson. He certainly took a shot at that one, but whiffs on the attempt. Count now 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch comes in, going to be outside for the 3rd ball of the at-bat. And now we see Paletto in danger of walking across his 3rd run of the inning. As that pitch going to easily miss the strike zone. That's another run walked in. Sacker takes his base. And now Austin Droge coming up to the plate with the bases still loaded, obviously. 3 runs scored for the Doubledays this inning, an 8-run lead overall for Auburn. Droge has had a solid game so far, and he has the chance to just pile on more runs here. Paletto just not finding a groove at all. Is that one low for ball one?
Credit to these Auburn hitters. They have not allowed any of the pitchers from Newark find a groove. I've mentioned it before, not expanding the strike zone, only swinging at pitches they want to hit.
Another great example of patience there, as Droge doesn't bite on that pitch, lets it fall outside for the second ball of the at-bat. I'd like to see Paletto rely a bit more on breaking balls to try to confuse these Auburn hitters. As that one fouled off by Droge. Kids starting to file out, but not before they get some claps in for this Auburn squad that has certainly deserved praise with their performance in this game today.
Got to get back in time to catch the school bus home. I'd say it's a successful Tuesday at school. It's Monday. It's not Tuesday yet.
No, with the way these Auburn games are going, you never know what day of the week it is. Count now 3-1 as that last pitch way high above the head of Droge. Paletto in danger of walking in another run. And that one chopped at, going to be fouled down the right side into the grandstands. To load up the count, it's now full 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board as Paletto's trying to escape this inning with only 3 runs given up. After Droge, it's G. Martino and Thompson, so things don't get any easier after this batter. So that one swung on and missed. That was a high pitch that Droge got a bit greedy on, wanted to seal the deal there, couldn't get the job done. But Auburn still with an 8-run lead heading into the 7th inning. We'll see if the Doubledays can get the job done in the 7th. The final batter in the Newark Pilots order stepping up to the plate, that's Chris Fidocario, the extra hitter out of SUNY Niagara, who takes that one for ball one. It's a 1-0 count. The Pilots need 8 runs to force the Doubledays to come up to bat in the bottom of the 7th. As that one chopped over to the shortstop. That's an easy 6-3 put out for the first out of the inning. That's Tommy Kerwin making the simple play with the throw over to Albright at first base. It's now Cooper Loyal stepping up to bat for Newark. Loyal, arguably the best hitter on this Newark team, and he's displayed it today. A fantastic performance from him in a game where the rest of his team really hasn't added much at the plate. That one just barely inside for ball one. Korzeniowski doing a good job in the top of the sixth, getting out of a jam that Ernst put him in. Ernst obviously had a great outing, but Korzeniowski doing the dirty work, getting out of the sixth now, trying to finish things up here in the top of the seventh. That one misses the play outside for ball three. That's Loyal getting ahead early, 3-zip on the count. Pitch comes in, and that will be swung on, chopped over to Kerwin. Kerwin makes his second straight 6-3 putout. Some great fielding displayed by the Oswego native. Now Dean Spotto coming up with the Pilots' last gasp of breath. 2 outs on the board. The Pilots trail by 8. For any of our fans just tuning in at the end, this is just a 7-inning game, so this will be the final batter of the night if he's put out here by Korzeniowski. 0-1 count after the foul ball. That one chopped into shallow left center, and that will drop for a base hit. That's the Pilots' 11th hit of the night. They're actually outpacing the Doubledays in terms of hits, but Auburn doing a much better job at limiting the runs scored. Spotto on first, Grant Ingram up to bat. Ingram multiple hits on the outing already. The third baseman out of North Arkansas College. That pitch comes in and will find the plate on the breaking ball for strike one. Korzeniowski with a little bit more heat than Ernst had. Korzeniowski easily reaches 80 miles per hour on his pitches. That one chopped down the left field line for a foul ball. Korzeniowski 1 strike away from ending things in this contest. It's Ingram trailing 0-2 in the count. Korzeniowski waving off a few calls, looking over, and that's Spotto looking to make the play over at second and makes it there in time. A stolen base. Gimartino not able to zip it on down to second. A big lead there from Spotto, who capitalizes on the throw and gets there with ease. 1-2 count. That was the first ball of the at-bat, and that one will come in there. Strike 3. That's Ingram rung up for the final out of the game. The Doubledays win this one with ease. A 12-4 victory for the Auburn Doubledays. A great win overall, where they really excelled, Auburn did, in every aspect of the game, whether it was hitting, whether it was fielding, whether it was pitching, behind the plate, in front of the plate, wherever they need to get their damage done, they did that. Luke, what stuck out to you the most from this Doubledays performance today?
I think the resilience shown in the bottom of the first inning. You immediately go down 3-0 in the top of the first inning. You look like, oh, is this going to be a repeat potentially of last night in Newark? Absolutely not. The offense came back immediately, 4 runs on the spot, and resilience from Wyatt Ernest. A spectacular rest of his outing. He was incredible tonight. 5 1/3, 4 runs given up, and 4 runs in a game where the Doubledays score 12. You'll take that any day of the week. He was phenomenal in those middle innings. I think resilience throughout this team in the lineup, on the pitching mound, and then in the field making some tough plays. It was a total team effort today in this win.
Certainly was. If we want to point out one guy, who would be your choice for player of the game, whether it was in the field, at the plate? Who stuck out to you the most?
For me, I got to go. There's 2 guys I have my eye on. Michael Gimartino, he had a very good day at the plate and behind the plate catching. He had two hits, two RBIs, was hit by a pitch. He was on 3 of the 4 times he was at the plate. And then Mike Bonfiglio at third base, he made some great play. He made a diving play with runners on second and third to get out of an inning. Another hot shot that he was able to make a leaping grab on. And then at the plate, he walked 3 times, had an RBI from one of those walks. I think patience at the plate, those 2 players really displayed it and then really helped the Doubledays in the field today. So between one of those 2, I think you'd have to give a game MVP to one of those 2.
That's certainly two valid choices there. I really like Bonfiglio, what he did in every aspect. As you mentioned, didn't get a hit, but his patience to the plate was stellar, and his base running was even more impressive with plays like when he was at third base and managed to freeze the shortstop into thinking about the throw over to first that forced an error, and that ended up scoring the Doubledays another run. So a great day from Bonfiglio, obviously a great day from G. Martino, a great day for pitching. Overall, just a good day of Auburn Doubledays baseball. They'll be back tomorrow on the road. That game at 6:30 against Elmira. So if you want to head out to Elmira for an away game, that's your choice. But if you want to come to an Auburn Doubledays game, a home one against Newark again on Wednesday, won't be a day game that time, unfortunately. That'll be at night, 6:30 p.m. on the 11th. But we urge you, tune into that game. It's going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. If you can't make it to the ballpark, like Ryan said, 6:30 start. Make sure you, if you're watching the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and press that notification button so you're ready for first pitch. So far, Auburn Doubledays 3-0 at home. It's got to be Falcon Park, some sort of good luck charm so far in this early part of the season.
I think we can take the credit for every game that we've been at. Auburn's won, so we're the good luck announcers.
You know what? I like that, Ryan. I like that a lot.
That's about all we have for you here today. A 12-4 victory for the Auburn Doubledays. Tune in on Wednesday for more. I'm Ryan Story. That's Luke Beckman saying so long from Falcon Park.